Hi Libra, welcome back to the channel and welcome to your October. Sorry, I'm looking for my mallet. Oh, there it is. Welcome to your October 2022 message from Spirit. We're going to channel today together. As always, before we get started, happy birthday to all of you who have already celebrated and to those of you who have birthdays coming up. I adore every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here, for exchanging energy with me. It's always, always, always a pleasure. As always, before we get started, we are going to be using the singing bowl to clear any lingering energy that is not yours, to connect to each other as a collective, and then as a collective to Spirit. If you would like to use this time to call on any specific guides, deities, archangels, any beings of light that you would like to be present for this reading, please feel free to do so. The more, the merrier. All right. Let's go ahead. I don't know what is happening, but now I'm missing my ring too. Like, what? Falling apart. All right. Anyhow, let's get into it. All right. I'm actually going to set this aside because the wind blew it out and I've got to let it cool so I can relight it because I like having candles lit. All right, Spirit, speak to me and through me to the Libra collective, please. Most accurate and relevant messages for them at this time. What do they need to know, Spirit? Most accurate and relevant message for Libra at this time. I hope you guys are enjoying your start to fall. It has been amazing so far for me anyways, hopefully for you all as well. The first day of fall, which was 2 days ago? When I'm recording this, it was 2 days ago, I believe. And where I'm at, the weather went from literally 98 degrees, and you could feel it the day before the official start of fall. You could feel just the temperature drastically dropping, and it was probably in the 60s. And then the next day, the high was like 60 something. So we definitely got the note around here that we're transitioning into fall, and I am ready. I love it. All right. I love summer though too. It's my season. I am a summer baby, so. All right. But I do love the transitions into all of the seasons. Okay, guys. Oh my God. The major arcana, 4 out of the 6 cards that we have are major arcana. And there's another one. Okay. All right. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. Interesting energy, guys. There's lots of major shit going on, and it could just be because it's your birthday. Like you have a birthday coming up, or you've just had one. You could be one of those people who experiences really big life occurrences, shifts, chapters closing, beginning, just really dramatic things that happen within their season. You could have a recurring pattern, something that happens like every year around your birthday, this same big event happens. But this is a lot of major arcana for one reading. We're starting it off. Your current energy with Drake's card. This looks like Drake to me. The Emperor. Sorry. I don't know why that's so funny. Very masculine energy. Very much owning your shit. Having all of your ducks kind of in a line. And if you're not to that level yet, that's kind of how people perceive you. Even if you're in your own life, you don't really have as much as what you want. But from the outside looking in, you seem to have it all together. You seem to be able to dictate, Freudian slip maybe, dictate and delegate, yes, thank you, very well, being able to kind of manage it all from the outside. Again, I want to reiterate this because I don't feel like from an inside point of view, like say your partner, your children, your own view of yourself, it might not look like you have very much right now, but to a lot of other people, you are putting off this very Emperor energy, very much commanding, knowing what they want, knowing how to get there. Again, someone who does a lot of shit and does it kind of effortlessly. This could be one of those things where you are an actual boss, you have employees, you have a business, you are in a position of power within your job, something of that nature, and people look at you like, oh, well, they'll handle it. I said he, because this is a very masculine energy, but obviously it's not gender specific. They'll handle it. Oh, yeah. Give that to Libra, or leave that to Libra, or I don't really have to worry about this because it's their problem, not mine. They're the one in charge. And they do it all so flawlessly, so meh, I'm gonna let them do it. And you're so used to doing everything yourself, it's kind of like a default for you. When people aren't doing enough or aren't pulling their weight, you naturally tend to pick up that weight. Whether that is an accurate depiction of how you feel inside yourself, maybe you don't feel like you have it all together, maybe you feel like you're falling apart. I would say for you, with this tower in your subconscious, it could feel like you're falling apart and everything is like overwhelming. You have too much going on. You don't know how to delegate. You don't know how to handle it all. But I'm telling you, from the outside looking in, people are looking like at you like you've got it all together. What's crossing you? Aquarian energy, fellow air sign, the star. Okay, so this to me is telling me you're not getting the recognition, the accolades, the attention even that you desire. Someone else in your life could be getting more attention than you. Their star could be rising and you could be feeling left behind. You could be feeling like I'm the one that put in all the work, or this is my business. Say one of your employees or someone that has worked under you. Maybe the student is now becoming the teacher and they are kind of graduating out of you and kind of outgrowing you, if that makes sense. And it could to you feel like they're getting all the shine when you did all the work, or maybe they are the face of the company when you're the one that actually does all the work, something of that nature. But you're not getting as much recognition or attention is what I'm getting. It's mostly about attention. If you're someone who's wanted to be famous, ever wanted to be famous, or known for anything, just known in your industry for something, maybe you're not there yet, and that lack of attention that you're getting is irritating you. It's causing a challenge in some way. It's maybe even a roadblock for you. If you could get past that ego part of it and needing to be recognized and acknowledged for certain things, you might find that you'll expand and grow a lot faster once you leave that piece of it behind. All right, yes. 8 of Coins in your recent past. You've put a lot of work into something, probably more than one thing. Libras tend to fixate on something and they want to become the best in that field. And then when they do, like, okay, I did that, on to the next thing. Say they take up a new hobby, like rollerblading, roller skating, kind of the same thing, skateboarding, whatever it is. They tend to go so hard and be so focused and put in so much hard work until they become like the top of their class. Like when people look, they go, you're really fucking good at that. You are blah, 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 whatever. That's why they tend to be a jack of all trades. They have a lot of skills and they're really good at a lot of things. It feels like they're naturally gifted. And I say they, you guys. It feels like you guys to other people. It feels like you're very naturally gifted. That's just how you are. You put so much of yourself, so much of your attention on work a lot of the times. And you guys do tend to be workaholics. Let's be honest. It could be something that kind of takes over you because you have such a perfectionist mindset and you want to do things to such a degree. That you could definitely have a tendency to be a little bit of a workaholic. But what has led you to this Emperor status, position, whatever has been this hard work, has been you putting in your due diligence day after day after day after day, and it's led you to this position of authority, of power, of, what is the word I'm looking for? God damn, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but like, and now it's completely gone. Like the train of thought is gone as well. So apparently I wasn't meant to say that. You have kind of reached the top of your industry. Thank you. Your field, whatever it is, and within your city, within your realm, within your field, you are very good at what you do. Very, very good. And it's not by accident. It's not by luck or chance or natural gift. You have worked really hard at this. Day in and day out. What that leads you to now is really great. I feel like you guys might have a hard time letting go of this. Well, I'm not being recognized for it. I'm not getting the credit. I do all of these innovative things and I set all of these trends within, again, your industry. You do things new ways and you kind of change the standard and nobody really gives you your credit. Nobody really notices. You don't get famous from it. Maybe that's what you're looking for. Maybe you want a TV show, a record contract. Is that what they're called? Record deal? I don't know. Some sort of contract. You want recognition. I feel like it's going to be a hang up for you. In your near future, you have the Three of Swords. Something is going to feel like a very big betrayal that's coming up. You're going to go through it a little bit. You're going to be a little bit heartbroken. Whether that's within a relationship, whether that is within a work situation, it could be both. It could be all of it. It could be everything all wrapped into one. You could have a partner who is not only your partner in life, but is also a business partner. And something could be taking place that feels very much like a betrayal. That feels, and even if it doesn't feel like a betrayal, if they didn't necessarily go behind your back and like do anything sneaky, maybe it's just that they're out of alignment with your goals. Is what I'm getting. And it's not to hurt you. It's not to break your heart. It's not to make you feel lonely or sad or take anything away from you. It's simply because your guys' paths are going two separate ways. And it could be that the person that is receiving the accolades that you want, the recognition that you want, any and all of those things is your partner. And that is maybe bringing up some resentment or building some resentment over time. And it's going to be something that could break a relationship. If you hold on to that ego, I really feel like you guys need to work on releasing your need to be, or your desire even, to be recognized. Because what happens when you don't get that? Are you going to be sad? Are you going to be heartbroken? Are you going to feel like nobody cares for you? Nobody wants you around because you're not receiving this validation, thank you, from outside sources, right? You can't let yourself take it that far and invest that much of your happiness in other people and let other people have that much control over it. I really feel like you guys need to detach from this idea maybe that you have and start to okay, what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen the way that I want it? What if it doesn't come the way that I expect it, or the way that I see it, the way that I want it? Are you still going to be happy? Are you going to be heartbroken? Are you going to be devastated? And all of those things, just let it snowball, or are you going to detach? And are you going to accept that maybe there's another way, maybe there's another role for you, maybe there's something in the wings? It doesn't have to be this thing that maybe you've put on a pedestal: fame, fortune, trophies, awards, being the best. I want to be this person in my city. I want to be seen as this person. I feel like it's very ego driven, and I say that mostly because the Emperor is showing up here as well, and they can tend to be a little bit egomaniacs. They can be a little bit controlling if they decide to be. And these are all things that can lead to a little bit of hunger or neediness. I'm getting really like it's a need for you to receive these things. Like, I need people to see me this way. But what happens when they don't? Are you going to allow yourself to be heartbroken? I really hope you choose a different path, because I don't want to see you upset or heartbroken or sad or thrown off any sort of path to success. What's in your mind space? The devil. You're thinking either a lot about a Capricorn, a situation involving a Capricorn. This partner could be a Capricorn, or this could simply be you're spending a lot of time thinking about maybe your toxic traits, your toxic behaviors, your tendencies. Maybe you're wanting to kick some habits, but you're not really sure how. Or you are sure how. You've started taking those steps, but they're still in the forefront of your mind. You're still thinking about them all the time. It's like a real struggle to not drink, not smoke, not overeat, not over-exercise, not overanalyze. Whatever your addiction is, whatever your toxic trait that you're trying to kick is, you're putting a lot of thought into it. But I feel like it's a lot of thought to not do it, if that makes sense. It's a very interesting kind of dynamic. I don't know if that's the right word to describe this, but it feels like a very interesting I don't know, dynamic. That's the only word I can think of. All right, your subconscious, a tower. I kind of mentioned this before. Excuse me. I feel like you've kind of programmed your subconscious to always think the worst is going to happen, to always be, what's the saying? Expecting the best but prepared for the worst. So when you prep for the worst, and when you prepare for it, and when you spend a lot of time thinking about it, 9 times out of 10, that worst case scenario is probably going to come through. And you, in your mind, is like, well, good thing I was prepared for that. Good thing I expected that. Good thing I didn't get my hopes up and get excited about something, because then I'd just be let down. And it's like, well, you also set yourself up for that. You also created that because you spent so much time thinking about it. You made it happen. So I would suggest, because you have the devil in your conscious mind and the tower in your subconscious mind, I really feel like there are some things that need to be worked through here. Some very toxic things that have a tight grip on you. I feel like it's how you see the world. I really feel like you're kind of always waiting for the backstabbing, the betrayal, for the other shoe to drop. And it might be causing you to not be fully happy, to not realize your full happiness, your full potential. Spirit saying here, the lovers, there is a commitment, there is a union here that could be very promising and very loving and very supportive, but you might not be fully present and happy in it because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And your partner could be nothing but loving and supportive and pouring into you, pouring all this into you. And it's like, you just can't ever really be content. You can't ever really be here because you're always thinking about what's next. You're always preparing for the worst. And especially if your partner is someone who is very optimistic and very opposite of that and is very positive and sees the silver lining in everything, it could be a little bit tiresome for them to always have to talk you off of that ledge, to always be the, no, they're not out to get you. That's not what's happening. That's not how the conversation went. I'm sure of it. I'm sure they're not saying that. Like, that can get exhausting, right? To be on the other side of that. So Spirit is saying, maybe take a page from your lover's book, from your partner's book, and try to see a silver lining instead of the black cloud. Like, even if there is not a cloud in the sky, it could be like, oh, well, there could be. At any moment, one could just bubble up and a whole entire tornado could pop up. And you're like, sure. But right now, the sky is sunny. The sky is sunny. The sun is out. It is warm. It's beautiful. Let's enjoy this. And you're kind of like, nah. Nah. I'm going to focus on what could happen instead and prepare for it so I'm not caught off guard. And you're like, or they're like, okay, go about your business then, I guess. I don't know. Energies around you, external. A lot of people are feeling stuck. A lot of people are feeling helpless and like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And that might be feeding into your kind of doomsday, waiting for the other shoe to drop feeling. It could be feeding it and making it grow even more. And it right now could be a little bit of a struggle for you to bring yourself out of this mentality. I am going to say, though, while it's something that needs to be worked on heavily, I feel like there's a lot of work for you to do here, reprogramming some stuff, probably even from childhood that you've held on to for a very long time, subconscious programming that everything is worst case, everything's going to come crashing down, nothing is stable, right? That's kind of this feeling, and it could be because you moved around a lot as a child. Your parents could have been divorced in and out, back and forth. Lots of things felt uncertain, unsteady, unstable, and that's something that you've kind of carried through your life, just waiting for the rug to be pulled out from underneath you. And this energy that the rest of the world is kind of in right now, this stuckness, this not being able to see clearly, feeling like they're trapped, could be feeding into that. So if you can at all, kind of tune the outside world out. Don't watch the news, minimize your social media. I feel like a lot of you could be very much sucked into social media right now and spending maybe a little bit too much of your time on electronics, and you might need to strike a balance between working. Like, it feels like you go from being all in at work to being completely disengaged, disconnected, and disassociated when you're not working. And what I mean by that is like just holding your phone in front of your face and scrolling. Like, you go from two really extremes, and it's not really ever, okay, I'm going to decompress. I'm going to think about my day. I'm going to journal. I'm going to meditate. I strongly am getting, not necessarily from the cards, just intuition. You guys need to meditate. You need to reconnect. If you have in the past had a meditation practice, reconnect to it. Get back into it regularly, whether that is actual like meditation, or it's yoga, or it's going to the gym, or it's running, whatever that is for you that helps you reconnect to your body and to your mind and be in the present and not be so like all in, super hyper focused on work and then completely shut down, disassociated and just scrolling your phone or zoned out watching TV, whatever that thing is for you. It just feels like you need to strike a balance. And with Spirit pointing out this card of partnership and unity, it feels like a lot of you do have very supportive, very loving partners that maybe are getting caught in the crosshairs of this. Like, you're, again, all in at work, so it's like all you talk about, it's work all the time, and if they want to spend any time with you, they better be willing to work, because that's what you're doing, and you don't really make a lot of room for other things. But Spirit's saying maybe make some room for your partner, or that's very harsh, but unless you're willing to lose that partnership is what they just said. All right. Your hopes and your fears. This to me is a hope for your children, not necessarily for yourself. Future children, if you don't have them yet. If you don't want children, it could be for like nieces and nephews. But this is a hope that they'll always have an open heart, that they will always remain open and loving and bright and new and welcoming and just open. Your hope is that they will always remain bright-eyed and rose-colored glasses and not become jaded, or that they will have the best possible childhood possible. Maybe that's something that you didn't experience, so you want to create that for your kids. You want to be the most loving, the most caring and soft parent. And if you are someone who has children who are grown, and maybe now you're a grandparent or even a great-grandparent, I feel like your hope is that someone along the way, whether it be one of your children or grandchildren, can break this cycle of not so great childhoods. And I know that the majority of the people, when you ask them if they had good childhoods, it's like, meh, they tend to always mention or focus on or remember kind of the terrible parts and not so much the good parts. And I feel like your hope is that your children, your future children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, the children in your life will remember the good parts of their childhood as well, and not just the traumatic ones or the not so great ones or the mundane ones or all the mistakes that you made. The outcome of all of this, sorry, this is getting a little bit long. Let me wrap it up. The outcome for all of this, 3 of Coins. This is a very supportive, having a team, having people who get the goal, who get the vision, whether it's your vision or someone else's, and you guys are all working together towards this thing. This is the team. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? That's what this card is all about. It is acquiring people to support you. It's hiring people. You might be going through a hiring process very soon. Hiring on new people if you already have employees. Again, if it's not your business, it doesn't have to be. I'm not just talking to entrepreneurs. I'm talking to people who work in the corporate world as well, or work for other people as well. But I feel like you yourself are the one that is in charge of building this team. You're going to be an integral part of it. Your advice, your input, your feedback is all going to be really, really appreciated and really valued. And I feel like you bring a lot of value to this team. Alright, let's see what else. We're going to do an oracle card. This is all of my Seasons of the Witch decks in one. That's why it's so big. The Unknown. Card number 41. Alright. And let us also do a wild unknown spirit animal. What else is here for Libra, please, Spirit? What else is here for Libra? Wrap this message up for them. Just one card, please. Thank you. Nightingale. Very nice. I love it. Okay. So this is from the Yule deck. So here it is. Yule deck. The unknown. Potential, creativity, risk. The unknown is wide open to you now, and pulling this card is a sign that your creative power and ability to manifest your dreams is growing. Take advantage of this unusual period of support and abundance. Visualize all of your deepest desires and greatest wishes. Be the master of your canvas and paint the image of your dreams. Will you dare to entertain your biggest goals? The unknown requires you to be willing to take a risk. What you want cannot be achieved from a place of comfort or in doing what you already know. With significant risk comes great reward, and the unknown says now is the time to take a leap of faith. Do not be afraid to fail. Even failure has values and lessons that will help you grow. Be bold and be willing to go against conformity for the sake of freedom and divine alignment with your soul's purpose. Yes, beautiful. All right. Nightingale. It's an air element, which is you guys. Sorry, these are not in any like particular order or numbered. So you just kind of guess. Flip through until you find it. There it is. Alright, fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. This simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of other birds, transports its listener to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, and let it out. When in balance, sings, speaks freely with kindness. When out of balance, shy, lump in the throat. To bring into balance, music. Yes, I feel like a lot of you guys have a very strong connection with music, singing specifically. And this could be from years past, like childhood. Maybe you were in like an actual band when you were younger. Maybe you were in choir, you sang a lot, you did lots of solos. Something with your voice, I feel like, is very significant to you. If that's something that you did in your childhood, that you did in your younger years, even not even childhood, but teenage, early 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, past life, get back into it. Write, if you are able to write songs and compose music, get back into that. Dive head first into that. Maybe that is your meditation. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that because this is getting very long-winded. I love you all so very, very much. Happy, happy, happy birthday to all of you, and we will see you next time. Bye.